Thousands of years before satellites mapped our planet, before explorers charted unknown territories, an ancient text described our world with stunning precision. Not from Rome, not from Egypt, but from India. Hidden within the epic Ramayana lies what may be humanity's oldest world atlas, a geographical record so accurate it rivals modern mapping technology. This is the story of Sugriva's Atlas, and it's about to challenge everything you thought you knew about ancient civilizations. Deep in the Ramayana, we meet Sugriva, the monkey king who organizes search parties to find the kidnapped Sita. But here's where it gets fascinating. His geographical instructions read like a modern travel guide. He dispatches 4 teams across the globe, providing detailed descriptions of land stretching from Peru to Antarctica, from the Arctic Circle to the heart of Africa. How could a character from ancient Indian mythology possess such comprehensive knowledge of our planet? The answer might lie in when this story actually took place. Traditional scholars date the Ramayana to around 500 BCE, but researcher Nilesh Oak has uncovered something extraordinary. Using nearly 600 astronomical references embedded in the text, he calculated a radically different timeline, 1209 BCE, over 14,000 years ago. Here's how he did it. Oak fed planetary positions, lunar phases, and stellar alignments described in the Ramayana into modern astronomy software. The results were consistent and shocking. The sky described in these ancient verses matches the celestial configuration of 14,000 years ago with mathematical precision. Take the winter solstice reference. The Ramayana states it occurred in the Pushya constellation. Today, it falls in Mula. This shift happens due to axial precession, Earth's slow wobble that astronomers can calculate backward through time. When Oak ran the calculations, Pushya aligned perfectly with the winter solstice around 12,000 BCE. But if the Ramayana is 14,000 years old, we're looking at a completely different world. 14,000 years ago, our planet looked dramatically different. Sea levels stood 400 feet lower than today. Sri Lanka wasn't an island. It connected to India through exposed land bridges. Southeast Asia formed one massive continent called Sunderland. Vast ice sheets buried northern Europe and North America, under miles of glacier. Any advanced civilizations would have clustered near the equator or along coastlines that now lie beneath hundreds of feet of ocean water. Yet somehow Sugriva's geographic knowledge encompasses this exact world, the Ice Age Earth that existed when his astronomical references were accurate. Let's follow Sugriva's Eastern search party on their impossible journey. They begin in Southeast Asia, crossing through what he calls Suvarna Dwipa and Rupya Dwipa, the islands of gold and silver. Linguistic experts identify these with Sumatra and Java, rich in precious metals and perfectly positioned on the ancient Sunderland continent. But the expedition doesn't stop there. Sugriva's team continues eastward across the vast Pacific, eventually reaching a mountain bearing an enormous golden trident carved into its face. This isn't mythology, it's the Paracas candelabra, a 600-foot geoglyph etched into a Peruvian hillside visible from 12 miles at sea. Nobody knows who created this massive symbol or when. Archaeological dating remains inconclusive, yet here it appears in an Indian epic, described as a marker placed by the god Indra to designate the eastern boundary of the known world. The precision is unsettling. Along their route, Sugriva describes encountering tribes with elongated ears and lips. Modern anthropology confirms such body modifications among Amazonian peoples like the Kayapo and Surui. Even more intriguing, recent DNA studies published in Nature reveal that certain Amazonian populations carry Australmelanesian genetic markers, suggesting ancient migration routes from Southeast Asia through Polynesia to South America, exactly the path Sugriva's expedition follows. This genetic evidence supports migration waves that occurred over 15,000 years ago, aligning perfectly with Oak's timeline for the Ramayana. Sugriva's instructions for the southern expedition carry an ominous warning. He describes a land called Yamapuri, a realm of darkness, cold, and death where his scouts must not venture. It is lifeless, he warns, inaccessible and without warmth. This description matches Antarctica with chilling accuracy. During the last glacial maximum, Antarctica's coastline may have been partially ice-free in certain regions. The controversial 1513 Piri ice map appears to show Antarctic coastlines without ice, while the 1531 Orontius Phineus map depicts rivers and mountain ranges in Antarctica that weren't confirmed until satellite imagery in the 1950s. Modern glaciologists have indeed discovered subglacial lakes and ancient riverbeds beneath Antarctica's ice sheet, suggesting the continent once supported flowing water systems. The Ramayana's description of a cold, desolate southern land fits perfectly with Ice Age Antarctica, a continent that ancient peoples might have glimpsed from the southern tips of other landmasses. The Western expedition traverses Central Asia and the Middle East with remarkable geographical precision. Sugriva names the Suleiman Mountains of Pakistan and the Taurus Mountains of Turkey, ranges that still bear these names today. He describes a golden city that historians associate with ancient Babylon, positioning it correctly along the westward route. The expedition concludes at what Sugriva calls the Mountain of Sunset, Astachala, which Oak identifies with the European Alps. Here another mysterious monument appears, a golden palm tree with 10 heads adorning a mountain peak. This mirrors the Trident in Peru, suggesting paired markers at opposite edges of the ancient known world. The precision of these geographical references spans thousands of miles, encompassing landscapes that supposedly lay far beyond ancient India's reach. Perhaps the most astonishing descriptions come from the northern expedition. Sugriva accurately describes the Himalayas, Mount Kailash and Lake Manasarovar. He references a river flowing north from a mountain lake, matching the Angara River's flow from Lake Baikal in Siberia. Then comes the impossible part. Sugriva describes skies that glow without sun or moon, lights dancing across the heavens, and regions where the sun neither sets nor rises for extended periods. These are unmistakable references to Aurora Borealis and polar day-night phenomena that occur only within the Arctic Circle. He adds a crucial warning. Do not venture beyond Uttarakuru. No living creature can survive there. This boundary maps precisely to the southern edge of Ice Age glaciers around 60 degrees latitude, below which humanity could survive, above which only ice and death awaited. How could ancient Indians possess such detailed knowledge of Arctic phenomena they had no apparent way to observe? When Rama questions the source of this comprehensive geographical knowledge, Sugriva gives a simple but profound response. I have seen it. I have traveled the earth. He refers to our planet as a mandala, a sphere, millennia before Columbus, before Galileo, before Greek geometric proofs of Earth's roundness. This wasn't theoretical knowledge. According to Sugriva, it was direct observation. Whether Sugriva himself traveled these routes or inherited this knowledge from earlier sources, the evidence suggests something extraordinary. The Ramayana preserves geographical information from the Ice Age world with startling accuracy. What we're looking at isn't mythology in the traditional sense, it's cartographic memory encoded in verse, preserved through oral tradition and anchored by astronomical data that we can verify today. The Ramayana may represent humanity's oldest attempt to record global geography, created by a civilization whose reach and sophistication we're only beginning to understand. Sugriva's Atlas forces us to reconsider not just ancient Indian civilization, but the entire timeline of human geographical knowledge. It suggests that 14,000 years ago, someone possessed comprehensive understanding of our planet, its continents, its monuments, its climate zones, and its celestial mechanics. This knowledge didn't vanish mysteriously. It was carefully preserved, woven into epic poetry, and passed down through generations until it reached us today, disguised as mythology but containing the geographic memory of a lost world. The implications are staggering. If the Ramayana truly preserves Ice Age geographical knowledge, what other myths might be historical records in disguise? What other ancient texts might contain scientific data we've dismissed as primitive storytelling? Sugriva's Atlas isn't just an ancient curiosity, it's a key to understanding our species' true relationship with this planet, a relationship that may be far older and far more sophisticated than we ever dared imagine. The Monkey King's impossible. Knowledge might not be impossible after all. It might just be memory, the preserved geographic consciousness of humanity's first global civilization, calling to us across 14,000 years of time. What other secrets are hiding in plain sight, waiting for us to remember who we really are?